Once again, hello and aloha pa to all the people of the planet. 10 minutes past 11 on August the 8th, August the 9th, and I'm going to continue the second message to the people of Japan. Whenever I talk to the people of Iran, that I meet them in Toronto and here and there, I always tell them you have to follow the example of Japan and England. Two countries side by side on the other side of the world. They're very similar in each other, together, very similar. And they both kept kind of their own religion in the kingdom. And they're, both of them are very prosperous. So I tell the Iranian, follow that example. That might be the way. Because the kingdom and religion seem to be like a mother and a father of the country, of the past, that they have a child of democracy. Of course, it's very doubtful they ever listen. I've studied, there's a lot of affinities between Japan and England. They're both kind of a small country on the northern part of one Europe, the other one in Asia. About the same populations. They both immigrated from the mainland. They're both unique in their religion. Their religion is not exactly Buddhism, but Shintoism is a part of it. Same as English, they're Anglican, but they're not Catholics. But they're still Christians. They both kept their kingdoms. One, of course, believes in Christ. One believes in Buddha. I have a book here. It's a nice book. A long time ago I bought it. It says Jesus, the Parallel Sayings, and Buddha. Jesus and Buddha. One book. Look. It seems these two prophets of God, one comes from Krishna and basically perfects the teaching of the Krishna into form of Buddhism. And Jesus took the Old Testament and the religion of Moses, which was not spread around the world. He made it universal and took it all to Europe. And when you study Baha'i faith, they do have both a spiritual duty, a spiritual destiny. English people have already said clearly, Baha'ullah accepts their system. It says just like in London, everywhere there is freedom and there's kingdom. So exactly to that is Japan. And there are a lot of things that have been said about these two countries in the Baha'i faith that are similar. Some of it I have here. The book called Japan Will Be Ablaze, the holy writings in the Baha'i faith. I'm quoting some of it. It says, Japan will turn ablaze. Japan is endowed with a most remarkable capacity for the spread of the cause of God. This is an amazing statement. It's guaranteed. This is not just the word of a philosopher. If you study the Baha'i faith and know who Baha'ullah is. Further it says in writing, Baha'i writing, future of Japan from every standpoint is very bright indeed. The faith will spread rapidly in Japan once the public becomes acquainted with its universal principles and its dynamic spirit. So we haven't done that yet, obviously. Another one, the inhabitants of Japan are intelligent, sagacious, and have the power of rapid assimilations. Similar things have been said in a different way about England. Well, I didn't know much about Japan, except in India. In Iran, I've read any books here and there. They seem to be the most elusive type of people. Couldn't understand them at all. As a kid, I was 22. I came to India My friend took me to some Japanese restaurant. I had chicken chow chow and fish chow chow and sweet corn soup. I knew Ajinomoto. And I said, it's beautiful food. That's the only place I used to eat. So the time came that from India I had to go to Canada. As soon as we came to Japan, we were stopped. Iranians, they stopped us. There was some kind of a order from Canada to stop Iranian or coming to Canada through Japan. They stopped us. I still remember very well. It was just so surreal to me that people, the way they greet you with such a strong, hi, as they say. And even when they're talking on the phone, say mushy mushy. I couldn't believe it. They were very nice people. They kept us in a hotel in Narita airport till in the weekend. It was weekend, so that Japanese, the Canadian ambassador to come and recognize if this documents are which is false, which is not. There were some other people. So while I was in the place talking to some of the people, I told them I'm a Baha'i. They said, okay. I said, I have a lot of friends here. I said, oh, you have friends in Tokyo? I said, yes, I do. What is their name? I said, I don't know their name. Oh, you don't know their names? They're a friend. Friend who knows their name? I said, no. I said, can I make a phone call to India to find their names and phone number? And they thought I'm joking, but then they said, well, I said, well, you have to pay. I didn't have any money. I'm $200, $300. I put all the money in front of them, told them it's just going to take 1 minute. I took to India to Dr. Vajli. Thanks God he was there. I told him this is my situation. I will be sending soon to the embassy of Iran and they'll take me away. Isn't it amazing? I'm now Canadian citizen, a landed immigrant, I'm running up to Iran. He said, there's no time. Take the pen, write down the number. I got the number. And I said to the gentleman, now I have to call this number. They again looked at each other and said, okay. They gave me the phone, the money was there. I called a gentleman by the name Dr. Soshio Pozoki. I said, Doctor, I'm a Baha'i, I'm an Iranian, and I'm in the airport, stuck. Oh, Baha'i, he said, okay. I think he brought his wife, talked to me. And later on, another Persian doctor, gentleman by Mr. Mawaddad or Wahdat, I can't remember the name of Persian. He came and talked to me and said, don't worry about it, they're in contact. They talked to the people somehow. All of a sudden, Japanese behavior totally changed. This is Baha'i. I got the phone there. In the phone book, I think Yellow Pages, actually the name was there. I told him it was a Baha'i faith. We are a group of people in the world that we believe in one planet. And we're all over the world. It's like a club. We help each other when time comes. I think they wrote the number to find out what this is. That an Iranian is supported by Japanese. Isn't that amazing? And this Iranian doesn't know his name. Anyways, I told you last time that you have taken the height to the highest level of the economical and social values seriously. And I told you, as you progressed in these two folds of economy and social values, your religion was not compatible, Shintoism, and was left behind. And as it grows more and more and more, you are starved because your religion is not compatible. The dimension of the spiritual dimension is not even fulfilling. This is why Japanese, exactly like people in England, I've seen them, they look like robots. When they talk to you, like, they have no sense of connection to you. They think we are nobodies when they talk. Or that's what it seemed to be. I spoke about this, that without the family values, the family is a social womb comprised of a mother and a father. Children cannot be raised spiritually and be inculcated with the spiritual values, so they cannot function in a society without it. And I said these families cannot be run by the religions of the past because simply is not compatible. This is a different setup of the family. And their woman was absolutely obedient to man, now it's not. So we need different ways. And I also said that Baha'i faith is exactly compatible to present situations. All happened parallel in time. While England and Japan were growing in 1800, really they've gone up, one in Asia, one in Europe. In the middle, Baha'ullah was revealing a Baha'i faith, created democracy in the religion. So I'm going to have to talk about a little bit about this recent tsunami that happened in Japan. In the Shintoism, we have the word kami. Kami, which is not exactly hard to translate, but my gut feeling is that that is a reference to metaphysics, metaphysical possibility. In a real word, it means the interpretation of the word kami. Master stands for possibility, because possibilities are metaphysical. Physics falls into it, and then things happens. And Shintoism even said, if you're bad, we create bad kami, and that's what happens. It disturbs the nature. So, what did tsunami do? Because the spirituality is lacking in nature, God's system has to, balance itself out. Then these things happens. Just like a minefield. You reach to a certain point, you push the button, you order the tsunami. It comes. Why? Because it wants to make you come back to the spiritual values. Go sacrifice for others. Think about others. Feel the poverty. Feel the homelessness. Get connected to the rest. Stop this arrogance. I'm better than others. That's the way the system balances itself. So, as buried it seems, it's actually a better solution. The Second World War was the same thing. Japan, after the World War, progressed much more than before. And the relationship became a lot better with West. So, it's a better, again, solution to something, because the reason was not as bad. Shaykh Effendi always talks about this catastrophe and about this calamity that has unimaginably glorious consequences. We could see this. But it's a very harsh way of understanding things. So if people would have known what this kami is, who actually have this big kami, I've written her name somewhere, Amaterasu. What a beautiful name, Amaterasu, the goddess in the Shintoism, says that they manifest the sun, the king, Jimno, the first emperor, is actually the sun. The real meaning is that it's not the physical sun, but she's manifested herself in the body of the emperor, somehow, to take care of Japan. This is not a bad idea, and it's not very far away from the truth. Muslims have the same thing in Quran. In Arabic they say, As-Sultanu Zillullah. The Sultan is the shadow of God. Means manifest the power of God. Baha'ullah even says that. The kings are manifesting the power of God. He himself is the manifestation of God. But he says, he extends it to the kings. on the earth, he says. So, in such a way, they do have a moral authority, if they understand it. Not all of them they do. So, this big commie, who has a son, you know, Jesus Christ, they call him, Son of God, Son of Kami, and Jimno, which is the first emperor. We don't know much about him, I don't know. But this is an alluding to the manifestation of God. Baha'u'llah is the same force manifested by the same Kami, the big one, the great one, to come and change the whole world, you know. And when you say the emperor, it was an idea. The word I learned is that, if I can say it correctly, I apologize. It says Akutsu Mikami. This Akutsu Mikami, which is manifestation of God, it is referred to Baha'u'llah, to Jesus, to Buddha, and also a reference to the king. Partially, he's manifesting that. So the Prime Minister of Japan, when he says it's a divine country, he's correct. If he understands the divinity, you see. Good Kami, bad Kami, you know. And I was studying this issue. I came about something very fantastic. It's actually written on the Baha'i authorities very directly about Japan and emperor. It's again in a book called Japan Will Be Ablazed. I'm going to have to read it. It's interesting. Under number 14 says Shoga Effendi writes to the Emperor Showa of Japan. Emperor Showa Hirohito of Japan had the longest reign, within bracket December 25, 1926 to January 7, 1989, of any reigning sovereign in Japan. He was respected as a scholar, being an eminent marine biologist, and he was beloved by his people. This is written in a Baha'i book. Continue, quote, at the time of his coronation and the fall of 1928, 7 especially bound Baha'i books were presented to His Majesty. The books, which were sent in the name of 2 American